A fulfilling life is the underlying concept of focus, but in today's world, focus almost seems difficult to do. We're pulled in endless directions every second, endless notifications, social media feeds that never end, scrolling through, and just constant noise garbage pretending to matter by yelling at us for our attention. It seems like we forgot how to be so that we could be present, be mindful, and live. Without direction, we are lost in the hustle of life, bewildered, blown around, unable to set focus on what's important. However, what if I told you there is a way to break the noise? Is it a way to regain your focus and find clarity, all the while living with a purpose? Buddhism has been a timeless guide to cleanse the mind from its restlessness and reconnect with its real. Shutting the world out or running away from responsibility doesn't serve as an end to this. It's a start, a tool to know and use your mind and your energy towards only the things that matter. In this video, I'm going to give you 7 life-changing Buddhist lessons that will free you up to finally have your mind functioning the way you want it to and enjoy life like you never have. However, these lessons are easy to understand. Those who practice them for them have been practiced for centuries and are now here for you. And if you've ever felt like your life is slipping through your fingers when you're lost in the distractions haze, stick with us. At the end of this video, you'll have the skills to flip that around and live intentionally. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The mind as a clear mirror. Picture your mind as a clear, still mirror. For me, it's only clean and reflects everything as it truly is, sharp, vivid, and undistorted. Then, when dust, smudges, or grime cover the glass, the reflection becomes blurry, and you can't really tell what something is. This is exactly how our minds get blanked when we have too many distractions, worries, and mental clutter clouding our minds. Instead, we are drawn in so many different directions that by focusing on the present moment, we miss life's greatest priorities. In Buddhist writings, this mirror is commonly used to indicate the mind. The reflection hasn't changed. The goal isn't to change the reflection, it's to clean the mirror. Doing so allows your mind to reflect reality as it is, and not as you distantly perceived it. The only way to clean it is to remove every distraction. It is like polishing the surface until it becomes shiny again every moment you are in mindfulness. Focus comes easy when your mind is clear. There's no view blocking that will cause you to have to strain to concentrate. Of course, clearing the mind isn't about shutting out distractions. It's figuring out where they're from. We make it happen as much as we make our habits. All add layers of grime, constant scrolling, multitasking, and worrying. The good news is that you can reverse this. You can practice awareness, and you will notice when your mind starts to wander and gently bring your mind back. Every time you're cleaning your mirror, you're doing this. When the mind is empty, one becomes magical. The eyes start to open. But the tasks ahead of you, the people around you, even your own thoughts, all become clearer and more valuable. It's not about forcing yourself to stay on one thing. What it comes down to is getting rid of things that will keep you from it. The next time your mind is scattered, remember the mirror. What dust can I wipe away right now? But with practice, your mind will become the reflection of a life of clarity, calm, and purpose. Lesson 2. Cultivating mental detachment. One reason we lose focus in life is because we're always chasing results, scrambling to complete something. Yet we cling to outcomes, the perfect job, the status, praise, and recognition. It's as if when things don't work out, our whole world crumbles. But here's a truth that can set you free. Absolutely, you don't have to believe your worth is dependent on a result. Buddhism doesn't teach you to give up on life, but instead offers the non-attachment of releasing expectation. Pours heart into actions without the output consuming you. It's like planting a seed. You water it, You nurture it, you give it sunlight, but you don't make it grow. You don't go digging it up every day to see whether or not it's sprouted. Your care is your focus, and you know that the results will surface in their own time. When you let the goals start to put you inside your mind of control over which you can still take control, it is the effort that you put in. This is where real freedom is. You don't get paralyzed by what-ifs or what will they think, and are rather in the moment, being present in what you do. You don't worry anymore if your hard work will be appreciated or not if you fail. Instead, you love the process. What a feeling of peace that provides. When you're released from the shackles of results, you begin to release the power of distractions. You can't allow fear of failure to control you, since you've already let go of the idea that success matters. You crave validation, but it doesn't consume you because you've already found fulfillment in just doing your best. What you do is mentally detached from the person you are talking to or confronting. In other words, the next time you're caught up in what if, pause. Remember, your value isn't defined by what outcomes you create. Think about putting your best effort in and leaving the rest to take its own course. Living this way, life feels less about you chasing and more about you creating, less about you controlling and more about you flowing. In that flow, you'll get not only focus but peace like you can't even imagine. Lesson 3. The practice of right effort. Like a fire, effort either illuminates your path or burns you out, depending on where and how you put it. Right effort is a Buddhist concept and one of the building blocks of a well-lived, focused and meaningful life. Right effort isn't about exerting more but more effectively. Energy and effort towards actions, having let go of time and attentiveness draining distraction. Think about it. How much of your day have you given away to things that don't serve you? Stressing out over the things you can't control, mindlessly scrolling your phone and procrastinating on what you should be working on. But these habits scatter your energy, scatter your focus, and leave you feeling unproductive and unfulfilled. This is the antidote to right effort. Of course, it's the practice of intentionally choosing to invest your energy into things that feed your values and goals. This principle is all about avoiding distractions. Just like weeds in a garden, distractions grow quickly and hard and take what you are trying to cultivate, whether that's peace, ideas, or the book you're working on. Removing these weeds consciously enables you to create space for what is important. Right effort teaches you to get rid of what's not worth your energy and to use that energy in recognizing what is. It's not about taking more on your plate. It's about removing that which doesn't serve you. Right effort is about balance. At its core, it's not about running yourself to the brink of exhaustion, nor is it about being out of shape. It's about something, being able to be in a place where you feel that your energy is being distilled in a way that takes you from place A to place B, where there's some meaning behind doing what you're doing. Right effort asks you to show up fully and consistently for what you give a damn about, whether that's a project you care about, strengthening your relationships, or tending to your well-being. If you practice right effort, your focus becomes sharper. Since you don't have to split up your energy anymore, you no longer feel scattered. Because you're not wasting your time on meaningless tasks, you begin to stop feeling drained. It's every step you take that feels purposeful, and every action that you take that nets momentum with you to building a life that really excites. So, take a moment to ask yourself, how is my energy spent today? Is it going into things that make you better equipped to achieve your goals, or is it falling down the rabbit hole of distraction? By approaching the right efforts, you relinquish control of your life to your focus. But when you take back control, you are in control of your focus and your entire life. Lesson 4. The art of breathing. When life gets overwhelming, when distractions seem endless, There's one simple tool we often overlook: our breath. We never realize that it is always with us, but not of us. However, conscious breathing is a great way to ground us in the moment, clear the thought clutter, and focus like we never have before. The art of breathing is one of the best ways to get a grip on what is chaos when it all feels so. The breath from a place of Buddhism's eyes is a gateway to stillness and focus. Mindful breathing has been practiced for centuries by monks, using it to soothe the mind and heighten their awareness. So whenever a monk would sit to meditate, they do not simply breathe automatically. Every breath is noticed with full attention. In, out, in, out. Each breath is a moment of clarity, the moment to slow down, to ground oneself, to disengage from the chatter that exists in the mind. The monks aren't the only ones doing it. You can do this too. If you'd like the answer, it will be the next time you feel your mind is racing or you're feeling overwhelmed. Stop for a few seconds, take a huge breath, and breathe consciously. Slowly breathe in your entire lungs. Next, exhale all the tension or stress. With each breath, you'll count down from 10 again until you don't feel them anymore. Focused breathing is what you want it to be. It pulls you back into the present now, where distractions can't follow. Breaking autopilot thinking happens with intent in the act of breathing. We end our slavery to our dissociated thoughts and take charge of where our attention goes. It's like a reset button for your mind. Every breath is your chance to align back to your purpose, refocus on what's in front of you now, and reconnect with what truly matters. Buddhist monks know this well. Away from the meditating, however, they aren't using the breathing techniques only during their meditations. They are using them throughout the day to help them stay calm, present, and focused. They don't get panicky or simply react if they get problems. Instead, they take a breath. That moment of breathing creates space between stimulus and response, so they can choose with clarity and wisdom how to act. You don't have to be a monk to use this powerful tool. You can teach yourself how to breathe consciously. At work, in life, dealing with a stressful situation, or in the process of getting focused, just stop and take some deep, slow breaths. It makes a difference. It will come with practice, and before you know it, you'll snap back into focus when distracted, be at peace in the midst of chaos, and be clear in the midst of confusion. Breathing may not be that hard for some, but when you use its power, you can greatly improve your focus and calm your mind. So take a deep breath, a conscious breath, and see how your life changes one breath at a time. Lesson 5. Embrace the beginner's mind. Imagine yourself seeing the world for the first time. It's everything fresh, anything new, and a focus on a million possibilities, what the Buddhist calls the beginner's mind. Shoshin is to stay open and not hold on to what we know, but continue seeking new ways to live life, a fresh new freshness. It's about moving towards life like a beginner, regardless of whether you've been dipping your toe in the water for your whole life or for your 50th. It's about the freedom to not know anything, to preconceive nothing, to be open to learning, to being amazed in the world. When we bring a beginner's mind to life, we don't bring any baggage from the past or from what we've tried to do before and fear being called out. Instead, we are open to new ideas and new experiences. That's like busting through the mental clutter that sometimes keeps us in the ditch and stopping distractions from driving away your focus. When our heads are full of "I already know everything" types of thinking, we shut ourselves out from opportunity. However, when we bring the beginner's mind, we stop having the mindset of "I already know this" and transition to "What can I actually learn out of this moment?" 2. In this shift, we naturally begin to flow focus. Not only does this allow us to learn, but it keeps us in the present. Imagine a moment when you were totally focused on something. a hobby, a chat, or even a job. You weren't worrying about what happened, and you weren't thinking about what would happen. You were there, present, fully listening to whatever would show up next. That's the power of Shoshin. If we approach life this way, with this mindset, we free our mind of mental clutter and distractions. We start experiencing without stopping overthinking. Embracing the beginner's mind is limitless. Every minute is now an opportunity to find out something about yourself or the world or the task itself. You aren't bogged down by judgment or assumptions, so your focus sharpens. It worked because you were just engaged, curious, and ready to dive deeper. The beginner's mind has nothing to do with being a dummy or inexperienced. It is simply stepping aside and shedding the burden of knowing and expectation. It is about having humility and acknowledging that we'll never know enough. We will always have something to learn. When you hold this thought, every second is an opportunity to reorient yourself, forgetting self-doubt or trying to be perfect. So, take a step back and ask yourself, can I enter today with a beginner's mind? Where are the openings for me to stay open, curious, and present? By adopting this approach, you will be led to sharpen your focus, expand your mental space, and find yourself much more engaged in every moment of your day. Lesson 6. Focus as a path to inner peace. In a world that gets a bit more complex, you want to find peace but feel it impossible. Often our minds are being flooded with distractions, and we're always in a rush from one task to the next. What if what we're really looking for is not more but less? What if peace was within the simplicity of doing one thing at a time? That is where the Buddhist concept called samadhi comes in. The basic concept of which is that you focus your entire mind on one thing, one instant, or one object, shutting out everything around you, distractions and mental clutter. It's about being fully immersed in the current moment. Practicing samadhi doesn't mean you're scattered. Actually, you're focused, you remain calm, and, most importantly, you're in the moment. When we focus deeply on a single task, something amazing happens. It's like entering a state of flow, and everything aligns. It melts away our worries, slows time, and brings us into what we're doing. And this kind of focus doesn't feel forced. It feels natural, almost effortless, as if all the sound in our heads goes away, and we just balance in a deep existing of harmony. Being juggled so many things in our daily lives can be overwhelming. Then when we get into the single-pointed concentration, we come to know that peace is only possible when we let go of having to do everything at one point. We choose to focus on what's in front of us and do it perfectly and with intention. Here is how we make harmony out of chaos. The beauty of focusing on a single moment, a single task, or a single thought is that it doesn't just simplify the present, it simplifies the mind. We stop fragmenting our mental energy when we stop dividing our attention. You're not more scattered and stressed. We feel grounded and at ease. It dawns on us just a little bit that we start to realize you do not find peace. You create it moment to moment through the power of focus. So, the next time life feels overwhelming, remember this. A path to inner peace is just focusing on one thing, right here, right now. This is about being in the moment, letting go of distractions, and being in the quiet clarity of being in full attention. Practicing samadhi reveals that peace isn't something you are going to. It is a state that you can be in every moment. Focus and peace will follow. Lesson 7. The wisdom of self-discipline. In a world filled with distraction, just intending to be focused won't make you focused. You must have self-discipline. The quiet strength that keeps us on track, even when temptations are drawing us away, is self-discipline. Making the choice day in and day out to stay entrenched in our goals, our well-being, and our purpose. It's about that. If we don't have it, we easily slip our focus through our fingers. In Buddhism, self-discipline is not about rules or harsh punishment. It's about developing tools around inner strength and wisdom to keep us aligned with our core values. Discipline is a way in Buddhist practice in order to keep the mind clear and focused. Monks have daily routines in a structured manner, not out of obligation, but to grow discipline and prevent a distraction from ruining their respective purpose. Structure is one of the basic principles of Buddhist self-discipline. All of this helps the monks stay in the moment throughout the day. They wake up early, meditate, practice mindful rituals, and practice reflection. It isn't about controlling the mind, it's about creating an environment where the mind just settles, naturally, just very clear, just calm. They practice routine and mindfulness, so their mind is not distracted easily with things that may be pulling them away from their deeper purpose. Just as powerful can be adopting some form of structure for us. Creating a routine has an amazing ability to make us disciplined and focused without us even having to dig for it. It's a bit like building a framework that supports where we want to go, allowing us to say no to distractions and yes to the things that move us. The more we teach and practice self-discipline, the more we build an inner container for focus. But self-discipline also involves patience and self-compassion. It really isn't about being perfect or rigid. It's about being consistent. We don't have to be hard on ourselves when we slip up. Instead, we help ourselves back to our practice, knowing that the journey of the legs is the moving leg. This is how self-discipline becomes a matter of love for ourselves and not a burden. Therefore, develop yourself for the acceptance of self-discipline. Just as monks, living a disciplined life so as to stay connected to your purpose, you can build habits and routines to feed your focus. It is not that you won't be reminded of what you needed to do and the clarity that comes with discipline. Every small act of discipline brings you closer to peace, to clarity, and to a life you are meant to live. With discipline, focus isn't only an experience of a moment, but of a lifestyle. As we come to the end of today's video, remember that focus is not something you either have or don't have, it's something you can cultivate. The lessons we've explored today are not just theories or ideas, they are powerful practices that, when applied, can transform your life. From seeing your mind as a clear mirror to embracing the beginner's mind and practicing self-discipline, each of these Buddhist teachings offers a path to a more focused, peaceful, and purposeful life. But the key to unlocking their power lies in your willingness to take action. Start small. Begin by integrating one lesson into your day, whether it's through conscious breathing, creating a structured routine, or focusing on one thing at a time. The more you practice, the easier it will become, and soon you'll notice how your mind clears, your focus sharpens, and your life becomes more aligned with your true purpose. Remember, the road to a focused life isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take toward applying these lessons is a step toward greater clarity and peace. You have the power to transform your focus, and in doing so, transform your life. If you found these lessons helpful and inspiring, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Join me on this journey of growth and mindfulness, and let's continue learning together. Stay focused, stay present, and take that first step toward a life of clarity and peace. You've got this.